Thank you for joining us. We are also thrilled to welcome you back. Today's question is, how can falling objects be controlled in Canadian workplaces? Falling objects are workplace hazards that can cause serious injury when tools, materials, pallets, boxes, equipment parts, or overhead loads are not properly secured. In Canada, employers are generally expected to identify overhead hazards, control the source of the risk, protect workers below, restrict access where required, and train workers before work begins. This matters because falling object hazards are not limited to construction sites. They can occur in warehouses, shops, manufacturing facilities, oil and gas operations, retail storage areas, maintenance work, scaffolding, roofing, and any workplace where materials are stored, lifted, stacked, moved, or handled above ground level. A strong falling object control strategy should focus on prevention first, including proper storage, stable stacking, tow boards, tool lanyards, secured materials, controlled lifting zones, good housekeeping, inspected racking, and clear exclusion areas beneath overhead work. Falling object requirements in Canada are not just about issuing hard hats. Across Alberta, BC, and Saskatchewan, employers are generally expected to assess the work, identify where objects could fall, control the source of the hazard, restrict access below overhead work, and provide protection where workers may be exposed. In Alberta, this means connecting the hazard assessment process to practical controls, such as secured materials, overhead safeguards, warning devices, tow boards, wire mesh, and protection where equipment or materials could be dislodged, spilled, moved, or damaged. In BC, construction requirements address falling materials directly. Danger areas may need to be barricaded or guarded, warning signs posted, and protective canopies, catch platforms, or nets used where materials could fall into areas accessible to workers. In Saskatchewan, workers exposed to falling objects must be protected by an overhead barrier, and areas where workers could be struck must be clearly marked. The common mistake is treating falling objects as a PPE issue only. A strong falling object program connects legal requirements to hazard assessment, storage, lifting, access control, engineering controls, supervision, training, and the real conditions of the workplace. Let's break this into 6 actionable micro tips because hard hat checks alone are insufficient for falling object prevention. The goal is to identify fall hazards, control them, protect workers, and ensure understanding before work begins. Micro tip 1, identify overhead hazards before work begins. Check for anything that could fall, shift, roll, spill, or be knocked loose. Include falling object hazards in assessments, inspections, planning, and talks. Micro tip 2, control the object at the source. Preventing the fall is the best control. Properly secure tools and materials, keep items from edges, use lanyards, inspect storage, and ensure elevated work areas have safety controls. Micro tip 3, keep workers out of the drop zone. If overhead work is taking place, workers should not be walking or working below unless proper protection is in place. Use barricades, warning signs, spotters, controlled access zones, and clear communication so workers know where they can and cannot go. Micro tip 4, use physical protection when exposure remains. Employers may require overhead protection where worker exposure persists. PPE is important, but not the sole control if other methods exist. Micro tip 5, inspect storage, racking, scaffolds, and lifting areas. Many falling object hazards come from routine work areas that slowly become unsafe. Check for damaged racking, overloaded shelves, unstable pallets, loose scaffold materials, poor housekeeping, unsecured tools, and lift zones where loads may pass over workers or active walkways. And micro tip 6, train workers and close corrective actions. Workers and supervisors must identify falling object risks, report hazards, establish safety zones, and resolve issues before resuming work. Record findings, assign actions, set deadlines, and verify completion. This aids compliance, audits, incident prevention, and due diligence. For practical support with falling object hazard assessments, overhead work controls, storage and racking reviews, and worker training, visit calgarysafetyconsultants.ca and reach out. We create clear safety systems for employers. We will review overhead hazards, develop controls, improve inspection forms, support training, prepare for audits, and close compliance gaps to prevent accidents.